Roll call, please.
Here.
Here.
Davis.
Here.
Fleming.
Here.
Noah.
Here.
Philbeck.
Here. Before we get started, we do have 3 items that we want to add to the agenda. And I'll rely on Joe to remind me what those are.
So they, all under new business, I guess C, D, and E, Tom. One would be, C would be a loan agreement with Eric Stone. D would be a resolution in support of the Marine Sanctuary. And then E would be open account, USDA rural development, which I'll explain when we get there.
Okay, with that said, next on the agenda is approval of, or excuse me, citizens appearing. This is between Rachel and Gary. Ladies first.
Ladies first.
For the record, I'm Rachel Goodstein. I'm a homeowner. I have a house at 126 South First Street. And what brought me here in Rochester, what brought me here today is a letter to the editor in the advance, in last Thursday's paper that referred to being discussed today, the removal of trees along the bike path. Now, the mayor just told me that some of the trees had been marked, so I haven't gone over there to take a look at that, but I was just concerned, given what had happened with the Vogler Conservation District and the fact that there was then a recommendation or ordinance to not cut trees, to know what was going on and et cetera. So, and to raise a concern about the removal of the trees. So, I don't know, where does that actually stand? The mayor just told me they've been marked, but when is that going to happen? Or is there, what has the input been on this? I mean, given that it was such a big brouhaha, and the lakefront, blah, blah, blah.
One, it's not on the bike path as much as it's on the city park property adjacent to the bike path.
Well, that's what I mean, it's that strip that runs.
But I'll rely on.
I can comment on it if you want me to, Tom, because it is our intent, if there's time, to get some of them down before festival. And what we're talking about is small, and again, you know, my thought process when that resolution was adopted is our intent was not to lumber our parks. But what we've got is some scrub poplar, small scrub poplar, it's blocking views, and that's all we're talking about is poplar. Then if you go down there, there's also some areas where you have pine trees where there's about 5 or 6 little ones and they're all jammed together, so they're not growing properly and they're creating a block. So it's just thinning that a little bit in those few areas where they're actually jammed together to create, and where pine trees and white pines can actually grow better. So that's all we're talking about. Most people probably won't notice much of a difference with the exception of some of those scrub poplars being gone. It just hasn't been done in a while. They've kind of overtaken things.
Okay,
And
so
they're a nuisance. I mean, I think anybody that goes down there would view them as a nuisance.
I'll go and take a look myself just to get a better sense of this. But the other question that it always raises to me, that the thing with the Vogler raised, particularly after Brittany gave presentations at the library relating to forestry, is there going to be any kind of impact on the birds, on the migratory birds that come through? Has that been, considered? Because I'm not a bird. I don't know where they live. I don't know which of these trees, what kind of, concerns. Because it's not just trees we have here. We have critters, some of which are a nuisance, but some of which, I was surprised when I found, the birding map for Northeast Michigan and how many different species come through here. So, just wanted to raise that concern. I'll take a look and maybe I'll be calling you. When is this going to happen?
Some of those poplars, some of it may occur before festival.
For the next couple of weeks.
Okay, correct.
Thank you. Mr. Ricker.
Hi, my name is Gary Rickard. I am building at 221 North 3rd Street, and I live out in Hawks. I wrote our city manager an email on June 24th, and I wish, what I would hope for is the city council would consider an ordinance that after a building sits vacant for a year or more, that when somebody new purchases, that they must come to the planning commission with any alterations to that building. See, I next door to Mr. Mustache. He's a wonderful guy, wonderful family, done great things. But, you know, he's made himself a parking lot that speaks to blocks the sidewalk. And he has an RV in his behind the building. What I'm concerned about is I've been in a campground and I've seen RVs burn up. All you have to do is leave the stove on, kid turns the stove on, it's gone. I'll tell you, that is so close to my building that even though it's a block building, it's gonna seriously damage it. And the people who are living inside are not gonna be retrievable. Because they have to go through the other part of the building to get out. Because it's just so tight. So, you know, I love what he's doing. I appreciate what he's doing. He's been a friend. I shovel his walks. I strip the ice during the winters in front of his building and alongside of it. I try to be a good neighbor. But I don't think he can say that he's not in the RV. But I guarantee you, with the air conditioner going, with the hot water heater going, you hear those things, then something's. So I don't want to rain on his parade. But do we really want commercial RVs in our downtown commercial?
What is it hurting, Gary?
What is it hurting?
I've seen it.
That?
This is a zoning issue too, and Toby's handling this. Honestly, Toby's handling this. We're aware of it. It's being handled by the zoning administrator. I can tell you that without getting into specifics here
Well,
on
the
the
thing is, I don't
camera.
know what's going on here.
What's
What's he
that?
gonna do? What is he gonna propose? I mean, people have many years. They park their RVs in their parking, in their driveway.
But not
But-
lived, had not lived in them.
Not in commercial area and not lived in them.
Again, the person that's being accused is not here. The zoning administrator is handling this. This is a zoning matter. I'd like to see it stay a zoning matter.
If that's
Toby's
all,
aware of it, Toby's handling it.
I wish I had, if I would have known that, I wouldn't be standing here. If I'd known, if responded to my email, I wouldn't be standing.
I didn't get an email, Gary. I'm wondering if you sent it to the Onaway email address that I don't have anymore, because I never received one.
Toby got one too. Unless they're wrong on this.
Have you ever gone over there and asked them to move the car?
Move the car? Yes, I do. But, you know, it should be obvious. It should be obvious. You shouldn't have to tell them no. That you're not supposed to cross
That's
the
not
sidewalk.
what Bayford here.
And Toby is handling it. Toby's brought me up to speed on how he's handling it. I'm comfortable with how
Okay.
Toby's handling it.
You know, Scott's got a new building. Is he gonna come to the planning commission with his plans?
Well, he has to. Common sense.
No, he doesn't.
Yes, he does.
Why, using this as an example, why would he come to the planning commission? Why would he have to?
All I can say is, I'm sure anyone
Seriously?
putting a business in is going to be following the zoning ordinance, and if they're not, Toby will ensure that they do, just as he has from the beginning in this matter. The individual under question here has followed the zoning ordinance to a T. Toby's worked with them, and they're continuing to follow it. Toby's working with them on this issue also.
Okay, I appreciate it. That's all my concern, is the damage it would do to my building. You know, that's my concern. That was the only concern I had, and because he's a wonderful guy, I do everything that he would want me. I've lent him my lift. I've tried to be an excellent neighbor. This is the only issue I have.
Anybody else? Next on the agenda then is approval or correction of the minutes from July 5th. There are no questions or comments, so I'll entertain a motion to approve. Motion approved. Your support?
Second.
Motion support. Discussion, roll call please.
Adair,
Yes.
Bayless,
Yes.
McLennan,
Yes.
Noah,
Yes.
Sobek.
Yes. Treasurer.
Just a reminder, board of review is tomorrow at 4:30, minimum of 3 council members.
We have a quorum coming.
Thank you.
Okay, and the bill.
Yes.
I'll make a motion that we authorize payment of the bills in the amount of $237,349.90.
Your support?
I'll support.
Questions? Roll call please.
Bayless,
Yes.
McLennan,
Yes.
Noah,
Yes.
Adair,
Yes.
Sobek.
Yes. City attorney?
Nothing.
Thanks, Mike. City manager?
The only thing that is an agenda item is I did drop, this just came out today, this, if you recall, Governor Snyder appointed a pension reform board that included some local unit representation as well as union representation, MERS representation, and others. You can read that at your leisure. There's no real specifics in there. I'm hoping, based on what I read, that that will be the first step towards being able to consider pension obligation bonds through Treasury, if you read it through. Those that they would consider looking at, action above and beyond what's been done would be those that are less than 60% funded, that's us. OPEB less than 40% funded, that's us.
Fine.
So,
Joe? Fine.
right, well, and it's not done. This hopefully is a step in the right direction for us.
Good, good.
I did, yeah.
Any,
We did.
any questions for Joe on his written report?
No, I just have a question, I was asking.
What's that?
We're having a real seagull problem up on the hill there, and I think maybe eventually they'll come down here. I see they put in a complaint to U.S. Wildlife and Game.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot that can be done. Again, that building where they kind of decided to call home now, the plan was to already have, by the developers, to have that building demolished, but they actually had to put the brakes on because you're not allowed to touch it when the things have eggs.
Well,
This is federal stuff, this isn't city stuff, so they couldn't demo the building. They had to leave it alone
Old
until
Red
the...
Glens, they power washed up there and they killed all the eggs. They
Well,
must have permission from I'm telling you, that's what happened.
Again, I can tell you that the developer is ready to demolish the building and had to throw the brakes on. Toby's been working with them on
But they're
that
just
too.
gonna move, Joe.
No, I realize that. What I'm saying is, my hands are tied also. They're protected species. I see them
We can
too.
send a letter to the whoever in town, we'd like them to see what they could do to help us with that. Because, a lot of people were sick in the Histwell class most years ago. And I hate to see that happen again.
They moved, Glenn's, they moved over there, they moved
That's what I'm
over to
saying.
high
Something's
school.
gotta be done.
But, and the government just says that's stuff.
Well, they did it down to the plant years ago, but things have changed, so. They brought pigs out, put pigs on the building, on top of the building.
Remember that.
But they brought pigs in, but I guess they didn't work, they wouldn't have killed eight or shot pigs up.
Pigs were pretty good actually out on the break wall. I was down there during
Yeah.
that time. They were good pigs.
Why not?
Did a good job. So,
Well, the first public meeting I ever came to here before I had a house and I used to have a property outside the city, there was a man who came here and suggested that we change the name of the park, Seagull Point Park, to like Sunset. But maybe part of the reason they're here is they think we want them here.
yeah.
If you could get a,
Maybe we should take down the
Fish
welcome
and
sign.
wildlife, you mean?
I think that's who they wrote, so it was in the paper.
Okay.
Last week, I think, the week before.
Okay. Anyone else have anything for Joe? Joe, you have anything?
Nope, nothing else, Tom.
Commission's liaisons, mayor, nothing. Unfinished business, we have the Lakeside Park basketball courts.
Make a motion, we pass the rules that Joe has set out.
Which are closing the park, or
Yeah.
10 to 10
Whatever
is
we
the
have.
hours.
Yeah.
negative signage for profanity and
Just to throw
offensive
out,
language.
I'd say, you know, it's set at 10:15, that seems to be working. I'd kind of like it to say 10:15. Keep them there a little bit longer, they have to be home for the 11 o'clock curfew. That's a reasonable time, I believe.
Curfew is 11 o'clock.
That's 11.
Okay.
Yeah.
With the lights
Time
Was
off.
the first one to get caught when that was passed? Me.
So we have a motion,
85.
Yes, I support.
we have motion and support then.
Wait. Go back here. What is it that I'm doing? Because some of this is going to the Parks Committee. Are we
Yeah,
just-
you're gonna, the hours are 10 to 10, and you're gonna get signage up, and the rest of it goes basically along the lines of your recommendation.
Yeah.
To bring it to Parks
What,
Committee?
Yes.
Yeah.
what exactly are we putting on the sign?
I'll take care of that. I got
Okay,
that.
all right.
That's the staff.
Yeah,
okay.
And I think
We
that's-
got a meeting Thursday, so we'll.
Yeah, we'll go over it there too.
All right.
I think if you have a motion and a second comments, I think 10:15, what it's set at right now is the way to go, in my view.
Okay.
10:15. So,
All right.
Whatever.
is that apply to your motion?
The sign is gonna have the hours be 2:10:15?
They're just gonna shut off at 10 o'clock.
The lights go off at 10:15, the hours are still 10:10.
Yes.
Well,
Yes.
I think we should have the hours. First.
So no, that's what we're doing, 10 to 10 are the hours. 10:15 gives them time to pack up their stuff before it goes dark, and I got it.
Whoa, wait.
No, that's not.
If it says 10 to 10, I can picture this happening. 10 to 10, at 10 o'clock, those lights are still on till 10:15. There's going to be people that are saying, get off of there, and, you know.
Well, that was my motion, 10:15.
Yeah, that's, okay.
Good change.
Good with that. All right, thanks.
What we said. Roll call, please.
Can I just have a quick review of the hours?
10 to 10:15.
McLennan,
Yes.
Noah,
Yes.
Adair,
Yes.
Bayless.
Yes.
Sobek.
Yes. Okay, farm use tax abatement is not necessary at this point?
It's impossible, we don't have a signed what happened is they had a consultant that was working on these things in various communities and various states. The consultant had, I think, some medical issues with family members and had to step aside. Now company personnel are trying to pick up the ball and figure out where things stand all over the place. I can't do anything without a signed application, and the numbers that are tied to the abatement, there's 3 different numbers. One that the state has, one that their application had, and then one that their spreadsheet shows. So there's some other paperwork that the law requires to be accompanied before we can consider it. As long as the application is approved within like 3 months of the construction starting, it's good. And I'm talking about real property, brick and mortar stuff. All of the stuff, they're up to 39 million in investment. All of the equipment overhauls, the technology, none of that, that's all personal, it's not taxed anyways. It's only the real, that hasn't started yet. I think we need to give them more time. I can't do anything, and we've talked in conference calls, but until they actually get me something. So it's pointless to table this and set a new date. I think once they get the stuff, then I'll ask you to schedule the hearing.
Okay.
The district's already been created, so,
Okay.
but the hearing, I don't know if that takes any action. The hearing was scheduled for tonight. We had a public hearing that was in, or no, that's not true. That I never advertised the hearing. You had scheduled it for the first meeting in August. So maybe a motion to cancel that,
Sure.
so that the minutes reflect that actually happened instead of them, somebody researching it and just it never occurred.
So you need a motion to cancel the public?
Cancel the public hearing for August the 8th.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Discussion? Roll call?
Noah,
Yes.
Adair,
Yes.
Bayless,
Yes.
McLennan.
Yes.
Sobek.
Yes. Parks curfew, nautical festival. Where are we at?
Same as last year.
Gentlemen?
Well, I'm gonna make that.
Okay.
Same as
I
last
voted
year.
no so many times, I'll make it again.
I'm gonna support his first motion to say yes.
All right, we need a motion to do something here. There's a proposed resolution in the packet,
Yeah.
which I will read. And then, or do you want, motion was made by council member blank, seconded by council member, that the following parks and recreation regulation, number 2017-1, be approved as presented. Pursuant to Chapter 12, Section 12.1 Code of Ordinances of the City of Rapid City, the City Council, for the purpose of protecting public property and the safety, health, and welfare of the public, hereby approves and adopts the following regulation pertaining to the use of the city parks. Section 1, South Shore Park, the Little League Park, shall be closed between the hours of 11 p.m. Friday, August 4th, and 6 a.m. Saturday, August 5th, and between the hours of 11 p.m. Saturday, August 5th, and 6 a.m. Sunday, August 6th. No person shall loiter or remain in that park during those hours. Section 2, Seagull Point Park, Lakeside Park, North Shore Park, Sports Park, and Westminster Park shall be closed between the hours of 2 a.m. and 6 a.m. Saturday, August 5th, 2017, and between the hours of 2 a.m. and 6 a.m. Sunday, August 6th, 2017. No person shall loiter or remain in these parks during those hours. Section 3, the regulations shall be published in full for 2 consecutive weeks prior to August 3rd in the Rescue County Advance. The resolution is effective upon adoption.
I did it.
Oh, okay. Support?
Yes.
And support. Further discussion? Roll call.
Adair,
Yes.
Bailiff,
Yes.
McLennan,
Yes.
Noah,
Yes.
Solbach.
Yes. We can schedule a workshop with Herman Vogler, concerning Herman Vogler with Soil Conservation District. Is that who we're talking about, Joe?
And the Parks Committee,
And the
we
Parks
would invite them to sit in for it. It would be a workshop of the council.
Okay, yeah, what's our pleasure, August 8th or August 29th, 22nd?
Doesn't matter.
August 8th.
How much time do we need?
I'd do a 5:30 on that one.
What day was that?
Tuesdays. Great, to see what you're asking. I would prefer the
I did not.
22nd.
Doesn't matter.
No, yeah, 22nd, 5, no, actually I prefer the 8th.
You're making fun of me.
I am.
What day?
I think I have to come in on the 22nd. Tuesday, August. Is that a Tuesday?
Yeah, that's before the meeting got bumped because of the
That's what I
sale.
mean, Tom. Is it? Tuesday. Not every Tuesday,
What's that?
just every other one.
Yeah, one second.
No, the 8th. August 8th, 5:30? Does that work for everybody? Okay, that's what we'll do.
Looks good to me.
Next item, first new item on the agenda, the loan agreement between the City of Rogers City and Eric Stone. Joe, do you want to take a minute to explain that?
Yeah, so the Third and Erie Intersection Improvement Project is going. Of course, we have the lens, everybody's familiar with that. One of the other pieces that kind of help us tell our story of our nautical history is the double ship's wheel. The Stone family has agreed to loan that to the city for a period of 30 years. 30? I don't remember, is it 30 or 20, Mike? 20 with 3 consecutive 10-year rollovers after that, so in essence, it could be 50. We're required to insure it, we're required to keep it under good care. We're not permitted to decide to move it someplace else. If we were to decide to do that, it would revert back to the family. These are the terms that Eric is asking for the family to donate that wheel. If you haven't seen it, there's actually one in town that's pretty similar in Sparky Bergeron's down
Yes.
at the end of Linden, near Linden and Forest.
Has he indicated how much it would cost to replace it for insurance reasons?
No, some of those things are pretty rare. I'm sure there'll be a value attached to it, but I don't even know what the value of the
But they
lens
have
will
to
be attached.
Well, yeah, like I say, and you got the one down there at the forest, that probably chain still lost some, but like years ago, that's only the one I've seen.
Yeah. Mike, should we do this one?
I've read it
Okay.
a couple of times.
Is he a good attorney? You can't say.
Of course he is. And, you know, there's, I think Mr. Budnick has looked at this. I want to make sure that the things he's asking for, that's what we're going to do, right?
Yeah.
And I guess there's, I mean, the worst thing that can happen is that he can come and take it back if we don't go to our side of the agreement. One of the things he wants us to do is to take all measures required to protect the ship's wheel from damage or vandalism, so
Boy, that's gonna be hard.
short of posting a guard.
Mike, I think what he's concerned about is the center part, because there's a compass on there, or indicator, steering indicator, and there's whatever those two things are. We're gonna enclose all that so nobody can get in there
Okay.
and crack it. That's what he's talking about. But that ship's wheel's gotta be locked down somehow so nobody can steer it or turn it.
Okay.
I'll make a motion, we enter into this.
Support?
I'll support.
Any other discussion? Not, roll call please.
Bayless?
Yes.
McLennan?
Yes.
Noah?
Yeah.
Adair?
Yes.
Stoller?
Yes. Next item, Marine Sanctuary Resolution. I believe this is related to
Executive Order 13795 issued by the Trump administration, which would eliminate the national
Designation.
monument designation as well as most marine sanctuary designations and a number of marine sanctuaries, including ours. Apparently, it wouldn't impact the original sanctuary, which is the building in the waters of Alpena, but anything that was added to that, including all of the waters of Presque Isle County, would be gone. And that would open it up for basically gas and oil drilling is what they're looking for. Commercial fishing as well, but that's kind of been handled through the treaty between the tribes and, you know, but so it's really more of a gas and oil. And the end for any comment on the order itself is July 26th. So this would be your last chance to act if you choose to oppose that.
Who are we sending this letter to?
There's some instruction as to where to send it.
Is it going
I
to
have
our
Our
reps and our
senators and our congressmen,
Okay.
Yeah, there's instructions how to electronically get it where it needs to go.
Stabenow, Peters, Bergman.
I'll make a notion that we should get this letter off to them immediately.
I'll second the motion to pass the resolution.
any other discussion? Roll call please.
McLennan?
Yes.
Noah?
Yes.
Adair?
Yes.
Bayless?
Yes.
Stoller?
Yes. Account setup?
So it's not completely official until the state director of USDA Rural Development signs the agreement, but I think that's more of a formality than anything. They just caution me not to start spending money or issue a press release, but the $60,000 from USDA-RD to fund half of the cost of the sling load trailer and the towing mechanism is in essence there. The money is electronically transferred to the city when we need it through the grant source, but we have to create a non-interest bearing account, just like the city did when it's done prior to USDA projects. When those are done, you end up with zero in the account, then the bank closes it up. Terry's recollection is at least one of the banks actually requires minutes to see that council's asked to create an account. That's what I need you to do.
What's the timeline on that place?
Harbor advisory members, Marshall, Lappin, and the harbor master created a spec for the trailer, so my expectation is we should be getting the spec out to at least 3 companies that'll get us proposals, hopefully by around August 1st. And then harbor advisory will be reviewing the proposals by the end of August, at which point we can make an order. And again, these aren't sealed bids because it's not apples to apples. We've got a spec. Those that deviate from the spec, we need to know exactly how. We also want to know what their level of experience is in creating these, how many years they've been building them. We'd like to have a few references perhaps, and we also want to know what the expected delivery date is. And all of those things, price and those other variables will be considered. There'll be a recommendation then coming to council at some point.
So we won't have that till spring.
It will not, there's no way it's gonna be here until spring. And those that, I think Dick's already gotten the word out, Lappin, that those that have been craning, that one more time. I think they're gonna try to set them up in such a way that this trailer can get them down, so the crane wouldn't have to come back in the spring.
Okay, good.
So you need a motion to.
Motion to
set up
create
a
the account,
non-interest
yeah.
bearing account.
I went to Traverse City yesterday, they didn't need to see any type of paperwork for me to sign all the paperwork to lock the money in. And you're not committed to anything until you actually make the motion to buy something, but we need to be able to have that account, and Terry's gotta get the bank account information.
I'll make a motion that we set up the non-interest bearing account.
Support on that one?
Okay, and this would be to provide an account for deposit of grant funds related to the Sling Oak trailer. Any other discussion? Not, roll call please.
Norm,
Yeah, oh, me? Yeah.
Adair,
You just get here? Yes.
Well, I wasn't sure. So
Davis,
Yeah.
McLennan.
Yes.
Philbrook.
Any other items come before council?
He's gonna.